Stellar holders, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Appreciate you guys as always. Now let's talk about what we're looking at as far as Stellar is concerned going into Saturday morning. So if we're looking across the board, we're seeing quite a bit of red across the market, and I'm sure you guys are kind of familiar as to why that's the case if you do watch some of my other updates. If not, I'll keep you guys covered. We are seeing some volatility, within the price of Bitcoin, which of course is dragging the broader market down with it. But a continuous reminder with a lot of people have already forgotten. If you're taking a look at the last 1 week or even the last 1 month, majority of the market is actually up right now. But as far as Stellar is concerned today, going into the weekend, it's one of the very few coins that's still up right now, up about 1.3% in Bitcoin comparative, and up about 0.2% in USD side of things. About 43 cents is the price right now. The valuation 13.5 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about 400 million. And we're noticing a very similar trend with some of these coins. I did mention this in my H-bar update if you did watch that. If not, totally fine. But we're noticing a lack of volume compared to the month of July. The month of July was, in a grand scheme of things, quite an interesting month. And I can argue that, even this month has been quite an interesting month for the crypto space. Yes, we're seeing a little bit of volatility due to the fact that, Bitcoin has been on the shaky end of the spectrum, but dominance is where your eyes should be on right now. It's continuing to, fall down, and it has not seen any signs of, strength, which is a good sign if you're an altcoin holder. But I want to show you guys one specific thing for Stellar right now that you don't want to be ignoring. But before we do that, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So of course, a continuous reminder, you guys can see this for yourself. Literally since the month of July, we have been on the downside for the index itself, and right now we're still below 60%, which is a good sign. BTC, on the other hand, you can clearly see this for yourself. We obviously did see quite a sharp pullback after Scott Bessent came out 2 days back and said that, the US government is not going to be buying Bitcoin. And again, let's face it, I've said this in my XRP update as well as the H-bar one. This is not something new. This is not rocket science. This has been told pretty much since, the strategic reserve conversations have been occurring for Bitcoin. And again, this was not a surprise to people that have been following, that news quite closely. But the market did react in a negative way. We saw $1 billion liquidated yesterday. You can clearly see the price of Bitcoin is a little bit on a downwards trajectory, but still in the grand scheme of things, we're still in the 23.6 fib zone, and it's seeing a little bit of a retracement. But dominance still has not, gone up to the likes of even the August 11th level, which is very, very impressive. But with that being said, as I indicated to you guys before, regardless of the 24-hour trading volume being low, I want to tell you guys something that is very interesting for XLM right now, and that is a bullish thing. And I'll tell you why I say that. So of course, if you're looking at the weekly time frame, you saw a very similar, move in the previous cycles. And I'll explain what I mean by that. If you're taking a look at the original cycle for XLM, we just saw one straight parabolic boom, and then, as fast as we went up, that's as fast as we went down. Reason why I say that is because you could clearly see, we topped up to that around January 2018, and then you can clearly see we came down in just a matter of 2.5 months back down to 18 cents. So, we saw a retracement of about, you could say, 83.6%. And if you follow the channel, you guys know when you see a parabolic move the way XLM did originally, you want to see the project find a ground for itself, because if it doesn't find a support for itself, there's not much support around when you see parabolic moves, then guess what? The price will drop as fast as it went up. And that's exactly what we saw happening. And you saw something very similar playing out in the 2021 cycle as well, which it did not see in USD perspective reaching an all-time high. But this time around, it's looking a little different. I will show you why. You can clearly see this for yourself. We held around the support quite nicely. So we broke out originally, from the Q4 of last year. Saw a very, very bullish move, retraced down to the neckline of 24 cents, and have been able to reclaim back above and retest the likes of 53 cents mark. And one thing I want you guys to take in mind, keep in mind is whenever these highs were retested. So of course this was a first cycle. We need to obviously keep that in mind. But you could see that fake out. This is a fake out bounce. We saw that happening in March of 2018, and we saw it happening in July of 2021. So you can see we went up to 47 cents, we went up to 42 cents at this time around, but we never saw the price getting closer to its previous high, which of course is what XLM is starting to do this time around here. Of course, we can say institutional demand is coming in. People are starting to take crypto quite seriously. Big entities want coins that have exposure in terms of real world adoption, and of course XLM is one of them. Of course, that landscape has shifted, but that is something that is a key takeaway that we can't be neglecting. And one thing, people are going to be like, oh well, who cares about that, blah 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 blah. I want you guys to take one big thing from this update. If you're looking at the circulation supply 31.3 billion, around here it was much lower. So, that is a big, big key takeaway. So the price of XLM has held very nicely. And I think for the first time, we could actually see XLM, making history and pushing back up from, its, previous high for, the cycle itself. So I'm talking specifically this cycle itself. And this cycle, this bullish cycle, our yearly high is around 64 cents. And we have come very, very close to it. We have come very, very close to it. We were literally about a 26% move. And after breaking above this range, I think we could head towards all-time highs. But I hope you guys could kind of get a little bit of a better visual as to what I'm really saying. But one other big, big key takeaway is how, we are being supported by this 41 cents key range, which of course I've talked to you guys about so many times on my channel. We've literally seen a double bottom around this range 2 different times. Continues to show us how important this level really is. But the 24-hour trading volume still quite low, but the price of XLM still holding quite well right now, which is nice to see. Target remains to be the same, around 48 cents. Breaking above here would mean that we could start heading up to those yearly highs. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. And of course, shout out to you guys for showing tremendous amount of love. If you want to see more of these XLM updates, let me know in the comments. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.